Welcome back to 42nd Street, Episode 3. Last time we finished up on 7th Avenue, just outside two of the oldest active Broadway houses, the New Amsterdam and the New Victory. But if we turn around and look up, we can see the ball that is dropped every year for the Times Square New Year's celebration. One of many New York City traditions that New Yorkers rarely show up for. It's cold, it's miserable, there's no bathrooms, you can't leave or come back for any reason. I'm always surprised people are still smiling at midnight, but hey, we love our traditions here in New York City. All right, before 1904, Times Square was known as Longacre Square. It was really the heart of the carriage industry. 1904 is when the city opened up the current subway system, and when they did that, the New York Times, our big newspaper, said let's move up to 42nd Street where the population will be going because of this new underground train, have the city name the neighborhood after us, and that's exactly what they did. They kicked it off with a big New Year's celebration, which is why we have the tradition of celebrating New Year's here in Times Square. No ball back then, they just had fireworks. We didn't start dropping the ball until 1908, and the ball was originally wood and iron, but now it's crystal, it's got LED lights on the inside. The New York Times moved a couple of blocks away in 1913, but the tradition continues. These days, there's almost nothing inside this building. There's a drugstore on the bottom floor and offices and storage for the organization that runs the ball dropping ceremony. But besides that, it's pretty much empty. I'm gonna say it's safe to say that this building is just about as empty as Times Square is right now. However, it brings in way more revenue than it would by having anyone stay on the inside. About $23 million a year this building brings in alone just on advertising. About 50 million people walk through Times Square every single year, and everyone is looking at and taking pictures of one Times Square. All right, I said we were gonna do this. Let's do it. And we exit on Broadway. Yes, the Broadway. Originally a pathway used by Native Americans for hunting and trading, it starts at the bottom of Manhattan and goes all the way to the top. Broadway is 13.5 miles long. Broadway traverses diagonally across the city, and when it intersects an avenue like 7th Avenue, it creates a square like Times Square. There's also Union Square, Madison Square, Herald Square, Lincoln Square, Verdi Square, and Columbus Circle. I guess we just got to do a whole episode on our squares and our circle. Knickerbocker Hotel! This Beaux-Arts building definitely stands out from the glitz of Times Square. Opened up in 1906 by John Jacob Astor IV, the great-grandson of John Jacob Astor. Remember him? John Jacob Astor IV was the richest man to die on the Titanic. It served as a number of different functions since its genesis, but converted back to a hotel in 2015. Check out our Washington Irving episodes for the origin of the word Knickerbocker, and check out our Secrets of the Subway episode for the secret subway entrance just below us. Moving on. 6th Avenue, Bryant Park. Named for William Cullen Bryant in 1848. 6 years after he died due to complications from a fall that he took in Central Park. Very fitting that this oasis in the middle of Midtown is named after him. Bryant was a poet, orator, abolitionist, and editor of the New York Evening Post. During the Revolutionary War, George Washington and his troops retreated across this very land. It was a massive burial ground, a potter's field, all bodies removed when it became a public space in 1847. It also housed the Crystal Palace, a glorious exhibition venue until it tragically burnt down in 1858. Nowadays, Bryant Park is just fun. It's a great escape from the city. Right now, we're in the middle of the Winter Village, which is the annual holiday market surrounding the ice skating rink. But in the summertime, this is a grass lawn where they show free movies on a big screen at nighttime. There's also rides, games and crafts. There's bocce ball and table tennis, weather permitting. They also got the reading room where you can read free books, magazines, newspapers, and they have public readings. Be sure to check out the carousel. The Josephine Shaw Lowell Memorial Fountain. Late 19th century social worker, she's the first female to be honored with a major monument here in the city. The fountain is winterized, which means that it can stay on throughout the winter. Awesome. I know this is a weird one, but this is actually considered the most luxurious public restroom in all of New York City. Self-cleaning toilets, flowers, attendants, music. Now, we don't have the budget to shut this down so that we can film inside, so you're just gonna have to enjoy the stills of the stalls. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Just come and visit. And when you do, keep in mind that directly beneath your feet are the stacks of 2.5 million volumes of books belonging to the New York Public Library, which we will get to in our next episode. So be sure to like and subscribe. Be safe, and we'll see you real soon.